On a stormy early morning, the streets of Southbridge, Chicago, were alive in a way only a city could be before dawn. Rain slicked the cracked sidewalks, puddles reflected the dim streetlights, and the low hum of cars crawling past old apartment blocks filled the air. In this gray, wet world walked Alex Carter, a 25-year-old man whose life, until now, had been a series of struggles. Alex came from a neighborhood where opportunity was a rare visitor and dreams were often deferred. His mother worked double shifts, his younger sister went to school in worn shoes, and he himself had been hustling since high school, part-time jobs, temp work, anything that could keep the small apartment above the laundromat running. Today, however, was supposed to be different. Today, he had an interview at Whitmore and Blake Financial Group, a position that could change his life forever. He adjusted his worn navy blazer, checked the leather strap of the portfolio he had borrowed from his uncle, and stepped carefully through puddles. His shoes were scuffed, his shirt already clinging damply to his skin, but his head was held high. This was the moment he had prepared for. Years of late nights studying market trends, perfecting his resume, and learning the art of professional etiquette had led to this. Up ahead, at the corner bus stop, a group of workers sipped coffee from paper cups, eyes tired and distant. A few glanced at him with curiosity, then dismissed him, assuming he was another kid with nowhere to go. Alex ignored them, focusing instead on the shimmering glass towers of downtown, his destination, his dream. The rain began lightly, then rapidly intensified, drumming on his coat, plastering his hair to his forehead, and soaking him through in minutes. Every step became a struggle. The cab he hailed disappeared before reaching him. The streets were turning into rivers, and the city seemed intent on testing him. Then he saw him. An elderly man, silver-haired, struggling beside a sleek black car. The tire was flat, the jack slipping in the muddy puddle. No one else stopped. No one offered help. Alex froze for a moment, torn between urgency and instinct. His interview was minutes away, maybe lost forever if he lingered. But his mother's voice echoed from memory. You help because it's right, not because it's easy. Without another thought, Alex crossed the flooded street. Sir, let me help you with that, he called. The man looked up, surprise and relief flashing across his face. I thought I had it, he said, struggling to stay composed. Alex set his portfolio aside carefully, knelt in the rain, and positioned the jack. Muscle memory from years helping his uncle in the garage took over. In 15 minutes, the flat tire was replaced. His hands were raw, gloves useless against the cold metal, but he didn't care. You're quick with that, the man said quietly. Do you know how to drive a wrench? Alex chuckled, shivering. Uncle wouldn't let me touch the Chevy until I could change a tire in under 10 minutes. Guess it stuck. The man nodded, a faint smile breaking through his frustration. Smart? Good hands. I like that. It wasn't until Alex glanced up at the towering building beyond the storm that he realized something. The interview he had worked for, sacrificed for, dreamed about, was slipping away. He thanked the man, offered a handshake, and ran, soaked, shivering, late. By the time he reached Whitmore and Blake, Alex was a wet mess. The receptionist's eyes flickered over him, a mixture of surprise and barely concealed judgment. I had a 9 a.m. interview, Alex stammered. I tried the storm, She shook her head gently. I'm sorry, the interview was missed. Mr. Calloway has moved on to the next candidates. There's nothing we can do. Alex's chest tightened. Every step of his journey, every early morning, every hardship, every drop of sweat and rain, it seemed meaningless. He handed her his portfolio, rain-stained and curling at the edges. She nodded politely, promising she'd see that Mr. Calloway received it, but it was a small consolation. Walking back through Southbridge, Alex felt the weight of failure, like the storm had never lifted. His shoes squished with every step. His jacket hung heavy and ruined on his shoulders. The city moved past him, indifferent, just as it had always done. Back in his small apartment, he set the soaked portfolio on the kitchen table. His mother's face appeared on his phone, smiling, hopeful. He hesitated, then answered, Hey, Ma. Her warmth wrapped around him through the call. "Any news?" she asked softly. Alex swallowed, words choking him. I messed it up." Before he could explain further, the phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Chicago area code. He hesitated, then answered. "Mr. Carter?" a crisp, professional voice said. "This is Natalie Quinn, executive assistant to Mr. Richard Whitmore. Mr. Whitmore would like to meet you this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Alex froze. "Wait, Mr. Whitmore? The CEO?" "Yes, sir. 82nd floor executive office. Will you be available?" His heart pounded. This wasn't courtesy. This was real. He had to go. By 1 p.m., Alex was pressed, polished, and ready. His cufflinks, gifts from his late grandfather, shone faintly in the afternoon sun. His suit, though damp from the previous day, had been carefully steamed and pressed. He hailed a cab, his pulse steady now with anticipation instead of fear. Inside Whitmore and Blake, the polished lobby felt familiar, yet different. This time, there was no judgment in the receptionist's glance. Security handed him an access badge without hesitation. Executive access. The elevator ride up was silent, the city sprawling below through mirrored walls. Each floor brought him closer, anticipation mingling with nervous energy. When the doors opened on the 82nd floor, sunlight poured across sleek furniture, expensive art, and walls that whispered power and success. And there he was, the same silver-haired man he had helped in the rain. Only now, he wasn't stranded. He was Richard Whitmore, commanding, calm, unmistakably powerful. "Alex Carter," he said, standing to greet him. "Good to see you again." Alex swallowed. I didn't realize." He smiled knowingly. "You didn't know who I was that morning, and that's exactly why it mattered. You helped because it was right, not because anyone was watching. That's what I needed to see." He gestured to the leather portfolio on his desk. "I read your work. Sharp, intelligent, thorough. But it's your character that matters most. That's what I hire for." Alex's chest tightened. Whitmore continued, his voice calm, deliberate. "I'm offering you something different. You will work directly with me as my special assistant. You will observe, learn, and be in rooms most people spend a decade clawing towards. It will be demanding. It will test you. But you've already proven you have the heart for it." Alex nodded, words failing him. He shook Whitmore's hand, not as a wet, defeated man, but as someone chosen, respected, seen. That stormy morning, every setback, every sacrifice, every act of kindness had led him here. Alex walked out of the office into the crisp afternoon sunlight. For the first time in his life, he felt the weight of possibility, hope, and destiny settle gently on his shoulders. The city no longer seemed like a battlefield, but a place full of opportunities, waiting for those brave enough to act with integrity. Because sometimes the paths we fear the most, the detours that seem like mistakes, are the roads that lead us exactly where we're meant to be.